Hello everyone, this is the lecture series of hydraulic mechanics subject and course code of this subject is ME317 and unit number second is running at the present time, and lecture number of this series is lecture number 14, and today I will discuss about the topic regarding fluid dynamics. For my introduction, myself Rahul Kumar, Assistant Professor of Department of Mechanical Engineering, Suresh Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur. If I am concerning about fluid dynamics, and fluid dynamics, this is a branch of fluid mechanics, and it describes the flow of the fluid. If fluid is motion, then considering the forces, pressure and energies. The fluid dynamics is divided into two parts. One is aerodynamics and second one is hydrodynamics. And the aerodynamics gives the study about air and gases in motion, and the hydrodynamics gives the study of liquid and water in motion also. And fluid dynamics applicable in wide range of areas application. And first application is aircraft wing, mass flow rate, petroleum industries, pipeline industries, and the predicting weather patterns, and some modeling fission and weapon detonation also. And fluid dynamics gives the several ideas about the fluid, just like one principles. Several ideas are several principles, just like a Bernoulli equation, momentum equation, Reynolds transport theorem, and these applications like venturimeter, pitot static tube, and orifice meter, and weirs, notches. These are different kinds of application related to this theory. And okay, for the objectives of this topic, by the end of this section, student or you should be able to understand about the fluid dynamics gives the different concept of energies, and these energies related to kinetic energy or the internal energy or other types of energies you are studied here, and the basic principle of Bernoulli's equation, and the different types of application regarding to Bernoulli's equation, and the basic principle of energy equation. Energy equation just like as a momentum equation or Reynolds transport theorem, these kinds of energy equation, and the some numerical problem I will discuss here. And these numerical problem related to the flow through a pipes or different types of different types of numerical problem. So first I will study the different form of energies which are associated to this chapter. These energies are forms of energies are, first is kinetic energy, potential energy, pressure energy, and the internal energy of the fluid. And first one is here kinetic energy, and energy due to the motion of body, a body of mass m, means this energy gives the relation between mass and velocity, and this gives the kinetic energy equal to half mv square, where m and v are mass and velocity of the body. Mass and velocity of the body. If any body in motion, these bodies, that is fluid or gas, and it gives the some amount of energy. This is the kinetic energy, and this kinetic energy formula is kinetic energy equal to half mv square. And the second energy is potential energy. This is the energy due to the height. or energy due to the elevation of body above the arbitrary datum. Means you fix a one datum like as a earth surface. This is a one datum above the earth surface. Suppose one dam is 200 meter and another dam is 600 meter height. This is the height of the elevation height of the dam, and this gives the potential energy in terms of potential energy equal to mgz, and z is the elevation of the body from the datum if m is the mass of the body. Here body is considered just like as a fluid. And third case of the energy is here pressure energy, and pressure due to the energy due to the pressure above datum means the pressure above to the, that means the pressure above to the atmospheric pressure, the pressure above to the atmospheric pressure, and this pressure, this is the gamma into h, and here gamma shows the multiplication of density and gravitational acceleration. This is gamma is the gamma equal to rho into g. So these are the three kinds of energy, and one more energy is internal energy. So these all type of energy, kinetic energy, potential energy and pressure energy, all type of energy used in the Bernoulli's equation. And what is the Bernoulli equation? Bernoulli equation is the sum of energies, and it is the sum of kinetic energy plus potential energy and the pressure energy equal to constant, right? And move to the next slide. If I am considering only energy, then this energy gives the some heads, and these kinds of head are, suppose one is the head, second one is kinetic head, then potential head and the pressure head is here. So what is the head? Energy per unit weight is called head. The energy per unit weight is called head, and the kinetic energy per unit weight means if I am divided the kinetic energy divided by weight of the fluid element, then it gives the kinetic head, and the kinetic head is equal to kinetic energy divided by weight. Kinetic energy divided by weight is equal to half mv square divided by, here kinetic energy is half mv square divided by mg, it will gives the v square by 2g. V square by 2g, here weight equal to m into g is here, and the potential head per unit weight gives the potential energy per unit weight. And here potential head in the last slide, what is the potential head? Potential head is where means mgz divided by mg. So mg and mg cancel, only term is remaining here, z is also here. And next case is the pressure head. This is the term of the pressure energy per unit weight. Pressure energy per unit weight. Then the pressure head is equal to P pressure energy divided by weight, and weight is here mg, then P by gamma. P by gamma is here, right? So these are the three terms which are related to the Bernoulli's equation. First is kinetic head, potential head and pressure head. And kinetic head gives the value of v square by 2g, and potential head only z. Z is the elevation height from the datum level. Suppose in the case of dam, here earth is the datum level, and height above the earth surface, this is the elevation head. And the next is pressure head. Pressure head, the pressure above the atmospheric pressure. This shows the pressure above the atmospheric pressure, and this pressure divided by the weight. This gives the P by rho g value. So these are the different kinds of energy, and then move to the Next slide. And what is the total head? Total head, this is the summation of kinetic head plus potential head plus pressure head, and the value of kinetic head is v square by 2g, potential head z plus pressure head is p by rho g, right? Then the our gamma equal to rho g is here. Then the total head is represented by a capital letter H, and this is equal to z plus p by rho g plus v square by 2g is here. V square by 2g is here. So this is the gives the value of total head of the fluid energies. So the Bernoulli's equation. What is the Bernoulli's equation? It states that the sum of potential, kinetic and pressure head of a fluid particle is constant along a streamline during steady flow when compressibility and frictional effect are negligible. This is the statement of Bernoulli equation. Here I am taking different types of assumptions. First assumption of Bernoulli's equation: flow is incompressible. Second is flow is frictionless, and flow is steady, right? Flow is steady. So these are the different kinds of assumptions, and flow always follow the streamline pattern. And that is this is applicable for ideal fluid also, and the total head of the fluid particles remains constant during a steady incompressible flow. During a steady or incompressible flow, or the total head along a streamline is constant during steady flow when compressibility and frictional effect are negligible, right? So it gives the one formula. This is a total head equal to constant. In the previous slide we have studied about the total head. This is the combination of kinetic head plus potential head plus pressure head. This is equal to constant. If I am considering one pipe, and this pipe is length sections are 1 and 2 is here, then Z1 plus P1 by gamma plus V1 square by 2G plus Z2 plus P2 by gamma plus V2 square by 2G, then H1 equal to H2 is here. So it gives the total head at the point 1. This is gives the total head at the point 2. So the H1 equal to H2, right? And this gives the energies at point the 1 and 2 also. This is the derivation of Bernoulli's equation. And for the derivation of the Bernoulli's equation, first we consider the assumptions of the Bernoulli's equation. For the assumptions in case, these are different kinds of assumptions. First is fluid is ideal and incompressible. If anywhere Bernoulli equation are applicable, for this case fluid is ideal and incompressible, flow is steady in nature, and flow is along streamline, means all fluid particles follow the streamline pattern, and the velocity is uniform across the section and is equal to mean velocity. Only gravity and pressure force are acting in the fluid, means other forces are not considered in this Bernoulli equations. Only considered forces are just one gravity, and the second is pressure force only acting. So consider motion of a fluid flow, particle in steady flow field, as shown in figure. Suppose this is a figure. Here this is a steady flow along a streamline. Suppose several type of streamline form, but I will consider only one streamline. And in this streamline, here consider a one slit. This is the ds distance, and in this ds distance, the weight of this strip is W, which is acting at the downward direction, and it creates a theta angle from the vertical line of this streamline plane. And at the first point, here pressure intensity is P into dA, or it is called pressure force. This is the area of this strip, and after some distance, this is the ds distance, it gives the pressure P plus dP plus into dA. This is acting on the downward direction. And this S is the normal so the direction, and this G gives the gravitational acceleration act in the downward direction. Here this triangle gives the theta angle. This is a dx, and this is the dz, and the ds is here. This is this distance. Then applying Newton's second law. In s direction on the particle moving along a streamline this gives the Fs equal to m into a. M is the mass, and as is the acceleration, where F is the resultant force in s direction, and m is the mass, and the as is the acceleration along s direction. Then as equal to, as gives the dv by dt. This is the differentiation of velocity, dv by dt, and then dv by dt, if I am multiplying one term ds, both this and this side, so it gives the value of dv by ds and ds by dt, and ds by dt gives the velocity v, and then as means acceleration of the fluid particles along s direction, it gives the v dv by ds, and put this value in this equation. So it gives the Fs equal to m into v dv by ds. Right? Then move to the next slide. And then considering the pressure force on this fluid element, the pressure force is, in the case of pressure force, P plus P into dA. This is the P into dA minus P plus del P into dA, and minus W sin theta, and substituting values equation 2 and equation 3 to equation 1, it gives the P into dA minus P plus dP into dA minus W sin theta equal to mv dV by ds. If mv dV by ds, it gives the, if I am open this P into dA, this is P into dA, and minus P into dA, this is cancel out. It only gives the minus dP into dA minus rho g dA into ds into dz by ds is equal to rho dA ds into v dV by ds, and cancelling dA and simplifying, this gives the minus dP minus rho g into dz, equal to rho v into dV, So note that here v into dV, it will give the half dV square. V into dV, it will give the half dV square. So I am writing this, and put this VdV is here. So it will give say minus dP minus rho g dz equal to rho half dV square. But here is W is the weight of the fluid, and which gives the W equal to mg rho dA ds into g, and W sin theta component acting along the s direction, and dA is the area of the flow and ds is the length of this flow, right? And here sin theta value is by the triangle, it gives the dz by ds. Here this is the value of sin theta, it gives the value of dz by ds is here, right? And then move to the next what the ds is here, length between the section along pipe, length between section along the pipe is here. So dividing the previous equation by density, means rho, then dP by d rho plus g by dz plus half dV square is equal to 0. By integrating the above equation, and it will give a dP by integration sin dP by rho plus g into dz plus half dV square is equal to constant. This is a integration constant. And assuming if fluid is incompressible, then it gives the steady flow, then gives the P by rho plus gz plus half v square equal to constant, and dividing both side by g, it gives the P by rho g plus v square by 2g plus z equal to constant. This is the, and this form gives the Euler equation, right? Euler equation of motion. But integration of the Euler equation gives the Bernoulli's equation. And this is applicable only for the if fluid is steady, incompressible and frictionless. Then this is can be written as for the two heads here. If I want to consider the two heads 1 and 2, then it gives the total head 1 is equal to total head 2, and for the above equation 10 is the general form of Bernoulli equation, and this gives the Bernoulli's equation if head loss is not given here, right? So this is the one general form of the Bernoulli's equation. So the Bernoulli equation gives the different type of total head. These total head are pressure head, elevation head plus velocity head, or we can say that it is the summation of pressure head, elevation head and velocity head also. So a pressure head is here P plus rho gz, and elevation head rho gz, and the velocity head is here rho v square by 2 equal to constant. So static pressure gives the P, and dynamic pressure gives the rho v square by 2, and the hydrostatic pressure gives the rho g by z, and the stagnation pressure is here static pressure plus dynamic pressure. What is the dynamic pressure is here? Half rho v square. Gives the dynamic pressure, and this stagnation pressure for this here is P plus half rho v square. But this equation only applicable for incompressible flow. This equation only applicable for the incompressible flow only. If we consider the compressible flow, then two conditions are applicable. One is adiabatic and isothermal condition, where density varies. Then the Bernoulli equation becomes as a gamma divided by gamma minus 1 P1 by rho g plus V square by 2g plus Z equal to constant, right? Here gamma, this is the value just like the 1.4, 1.2 depend on the gas properties, right? So this is the different kinds of values. And then move to the next slide. These are the different types of energy line and hydraulic gradient line which are associated to the measurement of head, measurement of head. This gives the two lines. This gives the two important line which is called EGL and HGL. EGL shows the energy gradient line and HGL shows the hydraulic gradient line. And this is the, suppose this is a one pipe, and in this pipe here one this is the section of, this is contraction and this is the diverging section, right? In this here this is the one pitot tube is connected, and here is one physiometer is connected, and physiometer measure the pressure head, or the direct pressure inside the pipe, and pressure this pitot static tube measure the velocity head, or it can measure the sum of head of pressure head plus velocity head, right? So it gives the P by rho g plus V square by 2g. So for this static head, for the static head or pressure head, it gives, this piezometer gives the only P by rho g value, but this pitot tube gives the sum of pressure and velocity head, and pressure head is P by rho g and the velocity head is here V square by 2g here. So pitot static tube gives the two energies line, one is HGL and EGL line, right? And pitot static tube directly gives the pressure difference between the static and dynamic pressure. With the help of static and dynamic pressure, we can find the velocity of the pitot static tube, This is the description of energy line and hydraulic gradient line. An energy line which shows the line joining to the total head along a pipeline, right? Total head just like as a reference level, it creates a sum. This is the elevation head, this is the pressure head, this is the kinetic head, right? And the energy line only gives the line joining pressure head along a pipeline, So energy line gives the information about the total head, and total head, this is the combination of pressure head and the velocity head, and HGL only gives the pressure head information of the pipelines. Suppose in this figure here one tank have a height of Z, and this tank gives the different types of energy lines and hydraulic lines, and this is the hydraulic gradient line, this is the energy line, and this is the energy line direct from this datum plane, and here is also this line, and these line vary with the cross section of this pipe, and the elevation of the fluid also, right? So this is the difference between energy and hydraulic gradient line, right? Okay, this is the case of energy equation for a steady flow in any fluid. This is based on the Reynolds transport theorem, and for this analysis, first we consider the energy system. Or consider a one stream tubes where the inlet pressure at the section 1, this is the inlet and this is the outlet section. So the inlet pressure here is P1A1, and the outlet pressure is here is P2A2 at the section 2 is here. So this is the QH is the discharge through this tube here, and these are the delta S1 and delta S2. This gives the value of entropies, and these are the bottom heads, Z1 at the section 1 and Z2 at the section 2. So for the consideration of energy, it gives the summation of energies like or energy of the system. It gives the energy inside the control volume, energy inside this control volume, plus energy, how much amount of energy out from the system. This gives the delta ECV out, and how much amount of at the same time how much amount of energy entering inside this control volume. This gives the delta ECV in, and if the condition is steady and control steady, then in this case control volume does not change. So in this case energy of the control volume is equal to 0. Hence this gives the energy out. This gives the difference between energy out in control volume minus energy in control volume. It gives the delta ES equal to delta ECV out minus delta ECV in is here, right? So this is. Now let's apply the thermodynamics first law for the fluid flow system, which states that for steady flow the external force done on any system plus the thermal energy transferred into or out of the system is equal to the change of energy of system. Then the external work done plus heat transferred is equal to change of energy. This gives the flow work plus soft work plus heat transferred is equal to delta S, and the flow work plus soft work plus heat transferred, this gives the delta of energy control volume out minus energy control volume in. And what is the flow work? When pressure forces act on the boundaries, and these pressure forces for the case of P1A1 and P2A2 for the above case, and the end section moves through delta S1 and delta S2 for the external work is done. It is referred to as a flow work. Then flow work is here P1A1 delta S1 minus P2A2 delta S1 minus P1A1 delta S1. This is P1 by gamma 1 A1 delta S1 minus P2 by gamma 2 A2 delta S2, and this is the flow work is equal to G delta M P1 by gamma 1 minus P2 gamma 2. For this, rho 1 A1 delta S1 plus rho 2 A2 delta S2 is equal to delta M. This gives the steady flow. Right? And some more work just like as a heat transfer or soft work it is here. Soft work, it is the work done by machine if fluid is moving from section 1 to 2. Then soft work is equal to weight energy divided by time weight into time. This gives the gamma A1 delta S1 divided by delta T plus HM into delta T. Then the soft work is here gamma 1 A1 delta S1 into HM is equal to G delta M HM, where HM is the energy added to the flow by the machine per unit weight of the flowing fluid. Note that if the machine is pump which adds energy to the fluid, then HM is the positive. If machine is turbine when removes energy from the fluid, then HM is the negative for the case of turbine. So we conclude that the HM value depend on the machine quality. So if I am considering the machine is just like as a pump where the HM value is positive. If machine is considered as a turbine where the HM value is negative. For the heat transfer property, and then heat transferred from an external source into a fluid, it gives a one time interval. This is the delta T, and the heat transferred equal to gamma 1, gamma is here rho g, right? Gamma 1 A1 ds1 divided by dt equal to QH into delta T. Then the heat transfer, it gives a this delta T and this delta T both are cancelled out. Then it gives a gamma 1 A1 delta S1 equal to QH, and it gives the G delta M into QH is here, where QH is the amount of energy put into the flow by the external heat source per unit weight of the flowing fluid. If the heat flow is out of the fluid, the value QH is negative and vice versa. QH is negative and vice versa. This is the case of energy equation for steady flow of any fluid is here. So this shows the change in energy for the case of steady flow. If time interval is delta T, the weight of the fluid entering, means it gives the weight of the fluid entering inside the control volume. It is equal to the weight of fluid leaving at this section 2. Thus the energy potential plus kinetic plus internal carried out by G delta M. This is the ECV entering, right? And this is the ECV out, right? And the equation 8 gives the energy of the control volume at the entering section, and this equation 9 gives the value of energy at the control volume at the out section, right? By substituting the values of the equation 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 in equation 4, this gives the flow work plus soft work plus heat transfer equal to ECV out minus ECV in. In this case, we conclude that the equation becomes like as a P1 by gamma 1 minus P2 by gamma 2 plus HM plus QH is equal to Z2 plus alpha V2 square by 2G plus I2 minus Z2 plus alpha V1 square by 2G plus I2. It will becomes as P1 by rho 1G minus Z1 plus alpha V1 square by 2G plus I1 plus HM plus QH is equal to P2 by rho 2G plus Z2 plus alpha V2 square by 2G plus I2. And this equation gives a general form of energy equation, which applies to liquid, gases, vapor and ideal fluid as well as real fluid also, and with friction both incompressible and compressible. The only restriction is that it's for steady flow. Only restriction is that it's for the steady flow. Means this application or this energy equation only applicable for the steady flow only. If we consider the only restriction for this equation is here only the flow is steady in nature. And flow is. Then now come to the MCQ problem question, and the first MCQ problem question is here: which of the following is not a type of force? Which of the following is not a type of force considered in the Navier-Stokes equation? And the option is here: gravity force, pressure force, surface tension force and the viscous force. So the correct answer is here surface tension force. Surface tension force is not a So the correct answer for this question is surface tension force. Here gravity, pressure and viscous force. Gravity, pressure and viscous force together constitute the derivation of the Navier-Stokes equation. But surface tension force does not take any part in the Navier-Stokes equation. So the surface tension force is the right answer for this. Move to the next question. Question number 2. Which of the following equation is a result of momentum conservation of inviscid fluid, inviscid steady flows? And these are equations are Bernoulli's equation, Navier-Stokes equation, and first law of thermodynamic equation and the Euler equation. So what is the right answer for this question is here? Euler equation. Euler equation gives a result of momentum conservation for a steady flow equations, and this equation is valid for only inviscid and steady flows. Inviscid and steady flows. Now come to the question problem number 3. The Bernoulli's equation in a fluid dynamics is valid for the compressible flow, transient flow, continuous flow and the viscous flow. So this is valid for only for the continuous flow, right? And Bernoulli's equation does not applicable for compressible flow, transient and viscous flow also. So this is applicable only for the continuous flow. Continuous flow means the flow is steady in nature, right? Then move to the next question. A water flows through a pipe at a velocity 2 meter per second. The pressure gauge reading is 2 bar and the datum head is given is to be 2 meter. Find the physiometric head. If the assume all Bernoulli's assumption, density of water 1000 is equal to 9.8 per meter. So the pressure head value is here P by rho g equal to 20.4 meter. It gives the value of 20.4 meter, and the datum head is already given at 2 meter per second. So the complete total head is here 22.4. So A answer is correct in this question. A answer is correct in this question. Then move to the next problem. Question number 5. A student wishes to find the velocity of air through a pipe. He has a pressure gauge which applying or which displays only the dynamic pressure. The pressure gauge reads 0.018 mmHg. Assume density of air is to be 1.225 kg per meter cube. Find the velocity V of air rho hg 13,600 kg per meter cube at 4 meter per second, 2 meter per second, 20 meter per second and the 40 meter per second. And the correct answer for this question is here B. B is the correct answer. By the dynamic pressure is given by rho V square by 2 and it gives the 2.4 bar with dynamic pressure, and the velocity is here V equal to 2 meter per second, right? And then move to the next question. If compressibility force and surface tension force are neglected from the Newton's second law of motion, which of the following equation result? It gives the Reynolds number. So D question is right answer for this question. D is the right answer for this question. Then move to the next. What does a pitot tube measures? Upon which the principle does pitot tube work? Then pitot tube work on the pressure principle, pressure and Bernoulli's principle. This is A. A option is right for this answer of this question. Then move to the next question. Suppose in this question here are two cross section. Here is circular and here is square cross section. So find the value of the cross section and correct option in this here. which gives the value of 31.41 meter per second, right? For this question answer for this question, and here this is the C option is true. First you solve this question, then you find the value of 31.41 meter per second. In the equation, the unit of E cannot be written as, means unit of E in this equation suppose like as a P by rho G plus G by Z, G into Z, and plus V square by 2G. Unit of E is here kg into meter per second square. So D is the right answer of this question. Then move to the 10th question. The best place to a pitot tube on a aircraft for velocity measurement is just behind the jet engine. This is false statement. This is a false statement, right? So these are the references of this lecture is here: engineering fluid mechanics and machine, fluid mechanics and machine, and fluid mechanics and its application, just like S.K. Gupta and V. Gupta for new age publication. And then thank you for the attention of this lecture, and thank you all of you.